Hey, hey, beautiful humans. Good to see you all. Any kids out there, throw their names up on there. I will say hello to them. Welcome to Storytime with Shane. Yeah, as those of you who have not, or this is your first time joining us, we do this Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays at 3 p.m. live on Instagram and Facebook, later posted to YouTube, so you can enjoy it later on or share it with friends. Oh, you like my chair? I love my chair. Hi, Cage. Hi, Scarlett. Good to see you guys. Boy, I need a haircut. Could just do it myself. Maybe. Whatever. So, yeah. So, let's get to it. So, this is Storytime with Shane. We do 3 stories, and we start the stories out with a fact. It is beautiful outside. I had a request to go outdoors. So, before we do that, I'll show you my eyes. Those of you who are keeping track of my eyes. This eye is pink, and it's called cotton candy. And this eye is black, and it's called possessed. You can get those through Primal Contacts. You can order them through the costume shop. Please do. The more you order through them, the sooner I might be able to get back to a place of employment. That would be great. So that's the costume shop on Blackfoot Trail. Look them up. Lots of great stuff there. Costumes, cosplay, you name it. Drag, wigs. Oh, it's just phenomenal. And eyes. Eyes. So these are Primal Contacts, Cotton Candy, and Possessed. But I showed you those because we're going to go outside because it's beautiful out there. So let's do it. Let's get at her. We'll head outside. Grab my stuff. Let's go outside into the beautiful sun. Any other kids watching so far? I've only seen Cage and Scarlett. If there's anybody else watching, throw your names up there. I'll give them a shout out. She's a gorgeous day out today. And boy, did I just sound Canadian. And that's okay. Let's see if we can get you guys set up so you can see me. Alright. I think we can see me. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Hey, hey, how's it going? Woo, she's warm in the sun. What do drag performers do? Not all, but some. Do when they can't get out of the house? Those of you who can see the sparkle on my jacket. I have been rhinestoning this bad boy. My daddy would be so proud. But it is extremely hot out here. So we are going to strip down. See that? See that? Look at that. Ooh. It's hard work. I had to share it with someone. Alright, pull the sleeves up and get ready to entertain the neighbors. Lots of people out in their yards, so I'm sure the people will hear me, but that's okay. It's not the first time. Let's start off our show. I know I'm so sparkly. Yes. I love being sparkly. I think I was a raven in my former life. Sparkly things. So we always start off story time with a fact for the day. I can't remember what we did on Thursday because I'm getting old. But I think we're going to go to Where Can I See That? And we are going to go with Where is the Biggest Cave? Ooh, exciting. Caves are great. Not so great if you're claustrophobic or scared of the dark. The flashlights are good. Page 20. So, if this is your first time joining us, we always read a fact from our Little Kids' First Big Book of Where. It's a National Geographic's kids book, and the author of this one is Jill Esbaum. Alright, let's get to her. Where is the biggest cave? Hang Sung Giong in Vietnam has the world's largest cave. Hang Sung Giong is so big that the weather that the weather inside the cave is different from the weather outside. Whoa, it has its own weather system? Clouds often hang near the cave ceiling, which is so high that you could fit a 40-story building inside. Wow. Parts of Hang Sung-jong's ceiling have fallen in. The jungle grows inside where the beams of sunlight peek through. The river also flows through this enormous cave. Wow. The world's largest cave system is the Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, USA. Oh! I was watching a show today when they were in Kentucky. But I digress. Different story altogether. So far, more than 400 miles, or, for you Canadians, 644 kilometers of passages have been mapped inside this cave. Let's see here. So, down here is a Mammoth Cave entrance. See that? Mammoth Cave. And then this big, beautiful picture right here, where the big opening in the cave there, that is the one in Vietnam. Hang Sung Dong. I might be saying that wrong, but I'm trying. And then Sac Ac Tong, which sounds, I don't know, maybe German? I don't know. Oh, wait. I never even knew that. Apparently that is in Mexico. So the longest underwater cave, is the Sac Ac Tong in Mexico. It has so many passages that it's like a maze. And that is this one here, this pretty, pretty, pretty blue one here with all the cave systems and all the... I can't remember what those are called. I'll probably remember after the show because that's usually what happens with me. Alright. So, I mentioned before that caves are dark and can be claustrophobic. And the question of the day down here is, and you can throw your answers in the comment section if you like, what do you use to help you see in the dark? These wouldn't help me see in the dark. That's for sure. But they help me see in this bright sun. So what do you guys use to see in the dark? That was our fact. All right. Let's move on to our first book of the day. It's a new book. No idea what it's about. Somebody had suggested to me I should check out those little private libraries. I did. I found another fact book, which is going to be good when I go through all my National Geographic facts. I think it's an encyclopedia of National Geographic animals, I believe it is. Regardless, doesn't matter. So I managed to find a book, and it looked really cute. So we're going to give it a try and see what it's all about. So this one is called Basil, the monster who was scared of water. Scaredy monsters, And it's by Michael Salomon. There you go. So that's Basil. Kind of looks like my dragon outfit. Those are people who've seen it. Minus... Well, no, I might even have the... I have to look now. I might even have a... No, I don't think I have a horn on the nose. I can't remember. Alright, so Basil, the monster who was scared of water. Written and illustrated by Michael Salomon. That's talent. He wrote it and drew it. Don't see that too often. Basil couldn't swim. He was scared of water. He didn't even like paddling in the shallow parts of the creek. He imagined that all sorts of mean water monsters were waiting out there to get him. See them all back there? He's got quite the imagination. I don't believe I've ever seen anybody like that in the water. Bath time was a problem for Basil. There always seemed to be a monster lurking in the tub. It disappeared when Basil opened the bathroom door. Basil always wore a rubber ring even though the water barely covered his toes. He washed as quickly as he could, and when he was finished, he pulled the plug out very slowly and carefully. He didn't want to be swept down the plug hole. Too cute. How many of you have ever got in the bathtub with a float ring? Not me. I have in the river though. Flashlights to bring out the extra batteries. Yeah, for sure. In a cave, yeah. Especially a haunted cave, because you know that stuff zaps the power right out of those things. When it rained, Basil wore his raincoat and gum boots, or we like to call them rubber boots, and carried a big umbrella. He wasn't going to get wet. He stepped carefully over every puddle, and he kept well away from the drain pipes and the gutters. He imagined there were soggy monsters waiting to grab him if he went too close. See the soggy monsters in the gutter and the garbage? In winter, Basil sat on a park bench and watched people skating on the frozen lake. He refused to skate. He wasn't fooled by the ice. He knew it was just frozen water. He could still see the nasty monsters, though no one else seemed to notice them. He's got quite the imagination. Look at those guys coming out of the ice like that. Once Basil was invited to a pool party. Everyone was having fun, swimming and diving and playing around the pool. But Basil stayed inside the house and watched from the window. It was safer that way. He tried to warn his friends about the monsters hiding under the diving board, but everybody laughed and said he was imagining things. Basil's friends couldn't understand why he was so scared of water. It seemed silly to them. They didn't believe in water monsters. Look at those water monsters he thinks he sees underneath the diving board. One day, they decided to play a trick on Basil. They wore water monster masks and hid among the trees with buckets of water, hoses, and water pistols. When Basil walked by, they leaped out and surprised him. Sploosh! Splash! Splish! Basil was soaked. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That wasn't very nice, actually. Yahoo! We're the nasty water monsters, they shouted as they danced around the dripping Basil. Scaredy cat, they teased. Basil just stood there shivering, his little heart pounding with fright. Everyone took off their masks and laughed, but Basil didn't think it was that funny. He shuffled home, very upset. Sometimes we can be mean to each other. It's not good, but we learn. After that, Basil was determined not to be teased again. He bought a book called Learn How to Swim in 6 Easy Lessons. He studied the fish in the pet shop window. Swimming looked easy enough for them, but of course they had fins and fishy tails to help them. Basil went home to study his book. He practiced the exercises in the bath. When he had finished lesson number 5, he decided to visit his friends at the beach. Here we go. See his book? He's got the book there. 6 Easy Lessons. Good for him. They were very surprised to see him. Come on, Basil, they shouted. Let's go for a ride on the Smurf mats. Try it, you'll like it. Basil looked at the foamy waves crashing on the sand. He had never been this close to the sea before. It looked dangerous. He stayed safely on the dry sand. I told you he wouldn't come in, said one of the boys. He's too scared. Basil sat on his own under the umbrella while the others ran into the surf. Suddenly, Basil heard a cry. Help! Help! It's probably another trick, he thought. Help! There it is again. It sounded real and urgent. Basil looked out to the sea and saw someone in trouble way out in the deep water. Without thinking, Basil grabbed his rubber ring and plunged bravely into the surf. He kicked hard with his legs, remembering his swimming exercises. "Go away, water monsters," he shouted. "I don't believe in you anymore." He reached the struggling boy and held his head above the water. Then a huge wave picked them back up and dumped them safely back on the beach. I think I've been saying his name wrong the whole time. Basil was a hero. His friends gathered round to congratulate him. "Well done, Basil! What a swim! You were really brave." Basil was quite out of breath. He had sand in his mouth and water in his ears, but he didn't mind. For the first time in his life, Basil was happy to be wet. He wasn't scared of water anymore. Yay! Little knowledge goes a long way, right? The end. Look at that. Now he's diving. Oh, so nice. Oh, there's more stories. Look at that. Ooh, I might have to try and find those. Those look fun. The monster who didn't want to be alone. The monster who was scared of the dark. The monster who wouldn't eat his vegetables. I like these. Very good, very good. So normally we do 3 stories. But today we were supposed to build a wonder. Anybody out there have it doesn't even have piece of paper or cardboard box they want to draw on or whatever, and we'll make a car at the end of our last book, which is the next book, so that we have a little bit of crafting time. Yes. So, this is a powerful book. I'm really hoping some of you will invest in this book, rent it out from the library, share it with friends everywhere, friends with kids, share it with kids out there, share it with other kids. It's a great book. I know a few of you love it. So here we go. This was provided to me by my good friends over at the Okotoks Library. My librarian friend Lara. Or Lara. Tomato. Should really look into that. So the book we're going to get into today, let's get at her. Who Are You? The Kid's Guide to Gender Identity. Fabulous book. And it is written by Brooke Pessin-Whedbee and illustrated by Naomi Bardoff. I'll read the back to you guys so you can kind of get an idea, those of you who have never been around for this book. It's a great book. What do you like? How do you feel? Who are you? Who Are You is an introduction to gender for ages 3+ with a straightforward language for talking about how we experience gender, our body, our expressions, and our gender identity. Ideal for use in the classroom or at home, and includes an interactive wheel at the back and a guide for adults explaining key concepts and identifying useful discussion points. Yes, it's a great book. So let's get at her. Who are you? A Kid's Guide to Gender Identity. This book is dedicated to all the little people with big hearts and curious minds. This book was inspired by the groundbreaking work of Gender Spectrum, and was made possible by the support from their great, incredible team, especially Pam Wool, Mira Abrams, Joel Baum, and Stephanie Brill. Many thanks to the trailblazing educators who create communities that help celebrate diversity. Yes, This book will not have come to be, it would not have come to be without the contributions from so many others, including Nina Pessin-Whedbee, a bunch of names. I'm also grateful for the generous support and loving encouragement from the Whedbee, Yutmos, and the Pressons, the Carsons, so a bunch of families. So, at the end of it, so that people don't, we'll get right into the book, but at the end of it, I'll read the note for grown-ups. So grown-ups, at the end of this book, if you want to stick around, I'll read that to you. From Brooke, from the writer of this book. So this is a story about you. The important thing to remember is that you are the one who knows you best. Who doesn't love a good rainbow? Love a good rainbow. When babies are born, people ask, is it a boy or a girl? Why we can't just ask, what's your baby's name? Is beyond me. Go with that. When in doubt, use names. Babies can't talk, so grown-ups make a guess by looking at their bodies. This is sex assigned to you at birth, male or female. Sometimes people get this confused with gender. But gender is much more than the body you were born with. As babies, we grow into kids. They start to know what they like and don't like. This is your personal expression, what you like, how you dress and act. There are so many ways to express yourself. What you like can change as you grow up, or even from day to day. It's true. What do you like? Looking at this picture, I can see lots of things up there I like. Oh yeah. Horses, dogs, sports, toys. Oh, the globe. Oh, I love so much in this picture. The chalkboard, the spinny pinwheel. What do you guys like? Like that kind of stuff? Or some of this stuff. I know what I like on here. I like this. I like these. I like these wings. Thoroughly into that. I can't skateboard, but I do like skateboards. I think they're cool. I just look like a fool. See what I did there? I rhymed that. Kids know a lot about themselves. They know who they are and how they feel inside. This is your identity. Who you feel like inside, who you know yourself to be. This can also change as you grow up, or change from day to day. Your gender is just one part of your identity, of what makes you, you. So there's so much to everybody's identity. It's more than just one thing. It's very important to know that. Don't put your ideals on other people. Let them figure it out themselves. Some people say there are only two genders, but there are really many genders. I'm a girl, I'm a boy, both, neither, just me. Over here. You are who you say you are, because you know you best. Yeah, you do. Such a good book. For some people, the grown-ups guessed right about their body and their gender. This is called cisgender, when someone's identity matches their sex assigned at birth. And for some people, there are more than just two choices. There are just a few, these are just a few words these people use. Some of mine are in here. Trans, genderqueer, non-binary, gender fluid, transgender, gender neutral, agender, neutros, big ender, third gender, two-spirit, and there are even more words people are using to describe their experience. This is called the gender spectrum. And the more people are allowed to investigate the gender spectrum, the happier they will be. There are lots of ways to be a boy, and there are lots of ways to be a girl, and there are lots of ways to be a kid. Be who you are. That's the end. So at the end of the book, there's also a guide for grown-ups. Again, if you want to read these pages, private message me. I will send you a photo of the pages in order. But yeah, there's a guide for grown-ups. There's page-by-page guide to key concepts and discussion points about body, expression, identity, and gender diversity. And then there's some information about the gender wheel, which is beautiful. I'll show you it in a second. But yeah, there's the body wheel, the identity wheel, and the expression wheel. And on that wheel, it just has, like, I have a something body, and then you can turn the wheel in there to find what descriptor fits you best. I am whatever identity, and I like how you express yourself in the expression part. So yeah, it's a really handy tool. It's a great book. Now I'll read you the note for grown-ups while kids are grabbing their papers and pens and getting ready to draw me their best something. And then I want to see pictures. I want pictures. I'm trying to make a collage, and I'm hoping to post the collage of everybody's pictures that they send me throughout this story time, however long it lasts. So, this is a note for grown-ups. This book is all about all of us. From the moment we are born, and often before that, people talk about gender. It is one of the many things that make us individuals in the world. We each have our own unique web that includes our body, how we feel inside, and how we express ourselves. Gender is individual, and it is also something that connects us to the people around us. People experience gender in so many ways. Some grown-ups may worry that children are too young to talk about gender diversity. But it is all around us. Kids are already talking about it, and you get to decide how you want to be a part of the conversation. For some, reading this book with a little person in your life may be the first explicit discussion you have had about gender. For others, it is part of a bigger conversation that they may have begun days, months, or even years ago. Either way, it is a good idea to first read this book to yourself, or even with other grown-ups. You might also like to take a look at the guide at the back of the book, or go to the website. Here we go, adults. The website is, all one word, kidsguidetogender.com. There you will find answers to common questions and information on key concepts, things to point out or ask as you read, and additional resources. This book is meant as a tool to be used alongside the rainbow of other great resources out there in the world. There are so many books, websites, and organizations that offer great stories, perspectives, and information. Of course, if you have any questions or ideas you'd like to share with me, with who the writer of the book, or even with me, I'm happy to, if you have any questions you would like to share with me, please do. I'm happy to share my experiences, this is true, speaking of me as well, and connect you with some amazing folks out there, which I can do as well. Gender is personal. Every reader from age 1 to 101 will have a connection to this book. I encourage you to think about what makes this personal for you and to share it with the little people in your life. I encourage you to ask questions about what makes this personal for them. You may be surprised and delighted by how much they have to say. I hope you will read this book over and over again with the little ones in your life. It will be a new experience each time. Brooke. And Brooke is the author, and I will be reading this over and over again. Both on here, and I love it. I'm going to add it to my own personal collection. So what I originally wanted to do, but of course it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, is I wanted to find a big box, and I wanted to make a car that I could actually sit in out of it. Couldn't find a big box right now. Yeah. Couldn't find a big box. So, what I have found is a fairly big box, and I thought I could be really mean. I'm gonna make it into a car with I got my markers. I'm just gonna draw, low key, low maintenance car, and then I could later on I could put my Trey, my Stormtrooper teddy bear, inside it, and he can drive it. And then tomorrow I will post it, and you will see the car and Trey sitting in it. So I'm starting right now. I'm going to start with my box. And I'm going to start a little lower because I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to get my adult to cut the box down so it's not quite as tall. So I'm going to draw my headlights on the front. Nice circular headlights, because I like the old circular headlights. So I got my headlights on there. See my headlights? They're not very, they're not the same size. That's okay, because this is my car, and they can be whatever size they want. Right? Oh my gosh, I really hope you guys send me some pictures of this. There's not many of you left, but those of you who are better be drawing a car or making a car out of a box. Because what teddy bear doesn't need a toy car to drive around in? It was so cool. My neighbor was out earlier today teaching, I think, family members, like distant family members, the proper way to put on their safety gear for skateboarding or rollerblading or any of those, outdoor activities, and proper ways to fall so that it doesn't hurt as bad. And I learned so much. It was awesome. See, you can always, I'm still working on my headlights. Not because I want them to be perfectly round, but I'd like them to be close in size. Close. They don't have to be exact. It's my car. So there's my headlights. I'm going to make my grill like that. Draw my grill on here. Should say Trey's grill, because I'm not going to be driving this car because I'm too big to drive it. But my teddy bear will fit in here perfectly. Oh, I'm so excited to see some of your cars out there. So there's the front so far. This is going to be my windshield. Oh, I should put a windshield wiper on there. I don't know how to do a windshield wiper. Alright, so we're going to go to the side now. And we need to, well, it needs to have wheels, right? The vehicle doesn't have wheels. So, again, with the horrible, can't draw circles. Works for me. I think I'm going to make it a two-door vehicle, so she's not going to be a I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging. I'm winging it here. Going on a wing and a prayer. Yes. You can use different colors and everything. If you have different color markers. I only have like limited supply of markers. But there's the side of my car, the door handle, right? Hey, it works. You can cut that off, so that doesn't matter. Then you need to do the same on the other side of your box, unless you're drawing it on paper, then just draw your car. And then on the back, how do you draw back of a car? I guess you need tail lights. These are going to be my tail lights. They're not the best tail lights, but they're my tail lights. And what color are tail lights? Red. Yep. So there's my red tail lights. See, this is my coloring. This is how I cheat when I want to color fast. So those are my tail lights. Yep. This is the actual, that's where the box is going to be cut off there. So then the trunk is right here. Put a little keyhole there. Yep. Put my exhaust pipe here. Why I have an exhaust pipe, I don't know. We need the tires. Tires on either side. I am no artist, that's for sure. But there's my tail end. And then, color it in. And I will show you guys the finished product tomorrow, and I hope to see some of your guys' finished product. Now, do we have anybody left? Oh, some of you stuck around. Love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let's see if I missed any kids. I got Scarlett and Cage. Flashlights, extra batteries, Cage. Thank you, Cage. I do agree with you on that one. Hey, Shane. Hey, Erica. Lovely chair. Alright, gotta check out Instagram real quick. Make sure I didn't miss any kids over here. Nope, we're good. Alright, folks. That's it for today. Next story time tomorrow at 3 p.m. So yeah, Storytime with Shane is Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, live on Instagram at 3 p.m. And Facebook. And then it's posted later to YouTube. As well, tonight we go live. I'm probably going to start during the Twisted show, but I strongly urge you guys to watch the Twisted show first, then come tune in to me, whatever. Yeah, I'll be performing at Twisted next week. I'm not there this week, but there's lots of great performers this week. You should check it out. The Digital Drag Show. It's a Zoom room. Go check out Twisted Elements Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. Then on Monday at 3 p.m., those of you who don't know, I've got 5 performers. I am performing live on Facebook through World Online Pride. I was contacted by somebody in Spain, and they asked me if I wanted to perform in this show. I would love to see some of you out there come out and support local talent. It will be live on Facebook. Please check it out. World Online Pride, 3 p.m. Monday. May the 4th be with you. So yeah, it should be easy to remember. It's also on, I'm posting it on my pages as well. They're live right now. If you've got nothing else to do, check out World Pride Online. Yeah, you should check it out. They're doing live performances all weekend, and I'm on Monday. So yeah, so love to see you guys there. Love to see you guys tonight. Whatever, whenever. Love having you guys around. See you tomorrow with your cars. Peace out for now.